Hey guys, what is going on? It is xckj here today, and I wanted to bring to you guys a video about how to draft. This is going to be for our second Meta Monday video. This is going to just be how to draft a good team comp, how to know who to ban, thinking about who you are going to ban before you even get into your game. If you have a duo queue partner, this will make your drafts so much easier because you can do some of the things that I'm going to talk about. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and sub to the channel. Helps me out a ton and helps other people just find the channel a lot easier, and you'll never miss a video. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Let's jump right into the video. So the first thing that you want to think about when drafting a team is who's going to have the CC on your team, so who's going to have the crowd control on your team, who is going to have direct damage, who's going to have blast damage. You don't want to have an entire team of blast damage, you don't want to have an entire team of direct damage. Of course, those are things that you already know. Some other things that you want to be thinking about, like I said before, is CC. There's a few different types of CC in the game, but for the sake of this video, let's break it down to two different types of CC. One is soft CC and one is hard CC. Soft CC would be things like, one of them would be like Inara's slow from her flower, and then hard CC would be something like getting hit with a Furia pillar and getting stunned that way. So those are the two different types of crowd control in the game. When drafting a team, you want to have at least one champion on your team with some form of hard CC, whether that be a root or a stun. You might be able to get away with a treacherous ground Inara, but for the most part you want to play her on like Mother's Grace or like something of that nature. But for the most part, you definitely want to have some form of hard CC, even if it is just coming from, let's say, a Bomb King stun, and then the rest of your team has got a couple soft CC such as slows and things like that to also help. I would also consider things like Shaolin's bow to be things like soft CC and all that kind of good jazz. Knockbacks are soft CC, that sort of thing. The reason why I differentiate them in that way is because having somebody rooted or stunned, just staying completely still in a game that is based around, I know it's easy to aim in Paladins, but still in a shooter-based game where you're trying to hit the enemy champion, once they can't move anymore and they can't do anything to get out of it, it's much easier to hit them, much easier for your damages to get just a nice easy kill, get those 3 headshots on Victor, put him down quickly, especially if it's a squishy champion. So those are some things that you want to be thinking about. Now also, knowing what champion that you and maybe your duo queue partner or just you are going to be playing. For instance, let's say I am playing a lot of my Flank Fernando build that I've featured on the channel before. If I'm playing my Flank Fernando build, I know that I'm not going to have any CC in my kit. So things that I'm thinking of is maybe we can have a Grover on our team for his deep roots. Maybe we can have I don't know, any sort of CC. I'm thinking, where else can we get our CC, since usually an off tank is going to be somebody who applies CC. Maybe we have, let's say, an Inara and a Saris on our team. That way we have 2 different ults, both with CC. That's plenty of CC for the team, as long as, you know, Inara's got a little bit soft CC, and you still have other 2 people on your team. So if you have a Cassie, maybe you have a knockback. Maybe if you have a Buck, you're going to have a slow with the snare, that kind of stuff. So thinking about things like that is very important, because sometimes you get into games and let's say you have a Barrack, Fernando, Ying, even if you do Barrack, Fernando, Ying, Cassie, and Buck, right? You have that entire team, but you have no stuns on your entire team, on your entire team. So if you have no stuns on your entire team and you just got a couple knockbacks, then the other team doesn't have to buy any resilience, doesn't have to worry about getting hit with stuns and things like that, which are ultimately just going to make it easier for your team to get easy picks, which is what the game is all about, is getting picks. Especially in a burst meta like this, when you're able to just stun them, burst them down, and get that easy kill, it just works out great. That's why I'm spending so long on this portion, because I really think that it's super important. So like I said, let's say again that we are playing Fernando. We know we're going to play Fernando, and we have a duo queue partner who is, let's say, he is a Bomb King main or even anything of that nature. So I am going to be looking at thinking who should I ban. So I know that Khan is a counter to Fernando, and I know that Terminus is just super annoying for Fernando to deal with. So those are going to be the two bans that I'm looking for. Also knowing that IO is really strong right now. So maybe if I just ban Khan at first, which is a hard counter for me, then they don't ban IO. And since I don't have a healer main on my team, my teammate is going to be playing BK, I'm going to ban IO instead because she is really strong. Those are just some things that you want to be thinking about when going into your draft and thinking about who you're going to pick and ban, especially if you get to play with a duo queue. If you don't get to play with a duo queue, I usually like to, when I get into a ranked game, ask the team, hey, what do you guys prefer to play? What are any of your guys' mains? I like to have people on champions that they're comfortable playing rather than champions that we need to have in the game. So, for instance, if they say, oh, I have IO, never played her before, but I'm a level 20 Saris, I'll just say, you know what, man, just play Saris. I think that's going to work out better for us ultimately in the end, just because it's a champion that you're comfortable on. So, with that being said, that's just one part of the draft. Another part of the draft is thinking about actual team comps that work well. So, whether you're going to be looking for things that are basic, right? So, you got point tank, off tank, damage, flank, healer. That's your basic comp that you have. But maybe your duo queue partner is a really great Grok player. So he's going to be playing Grok as a second healer, and then maybe you're going to drop off on that other off tank. So you'll have Inara, Grok, healer, and a certain time. So you'll have two healers, a tank, and two damages. Or Grok is kind of a hybrid, so and sometimes things like that can actually really cheese you a lot of wins, especially in lower elo and in higher elo. Once you get into higher elo, double healer meta is really strong right now. Another thing that you can always do, double off tank sometimes can work really well. For instance, a Khan and Ashe combo works super well together. That's one of the reasons right now why Khan is so strong. So something that is really interesting about Khan is I love Storm of Bullets Khan, and his ult is technically hard CC, but Vortex Grip gives our team a lot of stuns and just a lot of hard CC in that way. So when I'm playing Khan, I look at my entire team, right? If let's say I have a Grover on my team, I'm going to play Storm of Bullets instead of playing Vortex Grip. And the reason why I'm going to play Storm of Bullets instead of playing Vortex Grip is because I know, okay, we have two stuns on the team now. They're just going to buy resilience, and even though my stun will be strong, it's not going to be as strong. And I know that my Storm of Bullets is good enough that if I play it and this Grover is hitting some of his roots, I'm going to be getting my ult all of the time and just being able to ult people and chuck them off the map. But let's say, for instance, that we don't have any CC on the team. I know that, okay, the CC is going to be coming from me. I am the one reliant on stunning the squishy champions and getting those easy picks, because even though you might be able to do it without any crowd control on your team, you might be able to just push into the enemy team and still just out damage them and just have enough damage that you guys are going to be fine. It just makes it so much easier when there is somebody stunned to be able to kill them. That's the reason why champions like Furia are #1 healers and champions like Ying aren't #1 healers, just because of the stun and the damage that she puts out. The same reason why Grover's meta right now. Only reason why Grover's meta right now is because of his roots. If he didn't have his roots, he would not be as good. That's why Ying is not as good as she is, because she has no CC in her kit whatsoever. Another reason why Ruckus isn't played that much, because if you can play Ruckus, you can play Rom. You can play somebody with a knockup and a stun, or you can play somebody that just shoots people. It's almost a no-brainer in a lot of these scenarios, just because crowd control is so strong right now, especially while resilience is as weak as it is. So with that being said, I think I pretty much brought up all the things that I wanted to talk about as far as crowd control and all that sort of stuff. Some other things that you might want to think about are, like I said, direct damage and blast damage. Just knowing what that is, knowing, okay, so they have a team that is weak against us having direct damage, or they picked a double flank team, so let's try to pick a double damage team with aggressive healer, maybe a Fury or something, and then we're just gonna stay close together when the flanks come in and try to kill us. we will, or you don't even need to pick double damage, but we're gonna just try to stay all close together. Maybe pick a passive off tank that's gonna sit in the back with us, and then we're just gonna be able to get the picks on the flanks when they come into the back. That's just a couple of tips that I had for drafting and things like that. I know I kind of just sat on this champion page and kind of just talked to you guys. I hope you didn't mind this kind of more long form talking type of thing without any gameplay over it. Maybe I will throw some gameplay over this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.